Rondo, I finna slam dunk. Get big on you fake pumps. That pump ain't no fake pump. Bitch fell for the pump fake. Got him talking like first take. Get it right on the first take. Hit the hole in the first.
Mic check, mic check. Another episode of Sit Down with Slim, man. We got my dog Dorian, a.k.a. the art dealer, in the building.
What up, what up?
I got to talk to you, dog.
What you want to talk about, brother?
Bro, you always got a hot take, but this one here. See, bro, I remember one day, bro. One day, we was doing some pictures at the Waffle House, and you was talking about Kanye, and I said, see, this brother, he'll know some hip-hop, dog. This right here. And you was spitting. I ain't even had to say nothing. I was just listening like, damn. Then another time we talked, you started talking about the Dungeon family and all that history, and I was just intrigued. I was like, man, this guy need his own hip-hop show, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, then that's what's up.
Yeah.
So how we end
you
up
know
here?
it's a butt though.
Yeah. How we end up here today? Let's talk about it,
Bruh. All right. So let me introduce it. So this is what's going on. The game was on Drink Champs, and you know what's crazy? I didn't watch it till this morning.
Okay.
I watched half of it this morning. Probably a little bit more than half. I probably got like an hour and a half left. It's 4 hours long.
Yeah.
But I started watching that at like 8 in the morning, and I probably stopped about 10:30.
Okay.
And last night, let's see what you said on Facebook. You said something along the lines as you was talking to a couple people and you agree with what the game said.
Right.
I think that's what you said.
Right.
Let me not misquote you because I'm known for misquoting people on this podcast.
Right.
I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you.
Okay.
All right. You said I had a convo with some peers about the game's recent comments, and he's right about a versus against Eminem.
Right.
All right. So for the people listening, this is what's going on. The game was on Drink Champs. He chugged 3-4 glasses of Ace of Spades.
Now he's gonna say he's drunk.
He took 5 shots of whiskey, and then he proceeded to drink a whole bottle of tequila. He ended up drinking a whole bottle of tequila.
Right.
But he wasn't done yet before he made the statement.
Right.
They was talking about the Super Bowl, and they was talking about Aftermath, and he was talking about everybody on the Super Bowl. And then that's when he said that basically he said Eminem, he used to think Eminem was better than him, but now he doesn't. And Nori was just poking the bear. And then he was like, he's not better than me. That white boy, something.
Right.
And that's it. All y'all to a frenzy saying that he's better than Eminem. You got the floor now.
Okay, so let's get a couple things clear. I'm not saying, okay, I said from a versus standpoint,
Okay.
he does have a valid argument. From a versus standpoint, Eminem versus the Game is definitely a competition. Not saying that Game is going to smash him and kill him, but he definitely can go toe-to-toe with him. Now, this is what we got to separate. We got to separate the versus talk versus the rappers. Lyrically, of course, Eminem is a better rapper. He technically, his skill set.
Game said he was better lyrically.
I'm not now. A couple things. The Game said. I don't agree with Game when he said Kanye did more for him than Dre. He's upset because he wasn't on the Super Bowl. But I'm gonna say this: if the Super Bowl was in Detroit and Dr. Dre had to do the halftime show, there's no way in the world you're gonna convince me that Eminem would have got left off that show.
Correct.
Super Bowl is in L.A. And one of your biggest LA artists you left off. That's a valid point, bro. And we like you could say, well, Game don't have this. Game has some big records. He does. He may not be on the level of a 50, but he has big records and he has made a foundation. Now, let me get this clear. I'm a fan of the old Game documentary like that. I don't like all the extra stuff. So this is not me being a fan of Game saying this. This is me saying a lot of times we get so caught up in the moment, we forget what people bring to the table. And if you go through Eminem's catalog, in a versus battle, he has about 5 records that are guaranteed to win those rounds. After that, it's going to be a problem.
You said Eminem's catalog?
Yes.
What 5 of those?
So you got Sing for the Moment, Lose Yourself, Love the Way You Lie with Rihanna. It's another joint with Rihanna he got. He got the record with Wayne, No Love. So it's certain joints that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, ain't nothing you could do about that.
You talking about the pick the world up and drop it on his head or something?
No, I think that's Lil Wayne's song, but
Okay.
I think his is like Snow Love, Snow Love.
Yeah.
But it's all of the music is in the same vein. It's no
What
like,
about that Stan song? You don't like Stan?
I like Stan, but in the verses, you think that's gonna compete?
I don't know, because the game might play some of his bipolar music too.
Bruh, but the game has this is how we do. Hate it or love it. Celebration. A lot of people forget those records. Those records that
I remember Celebration.
that-
Celebration was actually on Jesus Piece, and I remember
Yeah,
telling people
yeah,
that
right.
that was one of the most underrated
what's the R.
albums of
Kelly
that
joint
year.
he got? On R. Kelly 12 play joint, the intro joint, he got a joint with R. Kelly where he doing the hook on that. He can get in his bag and say, I got a song with Gucci Man. For the kids, that's gonna be way bigger than anything that Eminem can play. Eminem can play that joint with Drake and them, but to them kids, he got a classic song with Gucci Man.
All right, so what you saying is that Eminem might be the bigger artist, but
Yeah.
Game might be the people's choice.
Right, because he has more range. But we forget that because we say, well, Eminem sell all these records and he's this and that. Listen, if people really like Eminem, Tech Nine should be bigger than what he is. Hobson should be bigger than what he is. Cannabis should be bigger than what he is, because those are black men who make that same kind of music and that same content. But we don't support them.
I know why that is, though. That's just like some of the most lyrical artists of all time
Right.
never had great careers because it's all about the delivery.
Right. And
And the
Eminem,
machine behind
and
it. Game said that in a rant he went on.
Right. And that's the reason why
I'm gonna
Eminem
read
is
them
what
tweets
he
to you,
is.
too. But keep going.
But that's the reason why Eminem is big as he is. Most people don't want to say that. They're going to, everybody on the comment on the post, y'all just mad because he's white. That's not true.
Oh, that's my opinion, too.
What?
I think y'all just don't like him because he's white.
No, I can't.
Because I get it, though, because you can't
No.
relate to him talking about trying to kill his mama and shit.
Right. It's black. Listen, it's a
But
lot
still,
of
though,
artists.
you got to ignore that.
Why do I got to ignore that?
Because
Because
he's
you
just
know-
rapping about stupid shit sometimes, bro.
But that's a part of his catalog. Some of his bigger records are, hi, my name is Hot. You listening to that?
I like that.
You listening to that?
Oh, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm not an Eminem fan.
Oh.
But we talking about music. Like, you have to recognize the bigger artists. And it's like, all right, let me read these Game tweets. He said, all this talk I see on the net saying Eminem is better than me because he sold more records is like saying McDonald's is better than Tam's Burger. It's false. They just put more money in McDonald's and promoted the shit out the Happy Meal, dangling toys in kids' faces. Major labels are known for buying albums and paying off everyone to boost sales of the artists they choose to shine the light on. If you ain't dancing the master's tune, you lose your budget and the machine is taking off your project and put work on another artist who's willing to SD. I guess I mean so dick. Translation for those of you who don't know how major record companies do business, it's a machine designed to work for the artists who play nice in Master's house. I was too real, too unapologetically black, and cut the puppet strings early on in my career and decided to rebel. But I'm tired of the lies and bullshit propaganda they throw out here to the fans to gobble up conspiracy, smear campaigns, and blackballs. Niggas been bouncing around this industry my entire career. I'm back outside. Then he proceeds to say some more bipolar shit. I ain't got to read the rest of that shit.
I mean, he got valid points. So what did he say? What
Yeah.
did he say? That's a lie there.
Okay, first off, Game lies a lot. And I'll tell you what he said that's a
Listen,
lie.
you right. Listen,
I'm about to tell you what's a lie.
Hold on. Let me say this before you say that. It's a lot of stuff he said that pissed me off. This ain't the person that I'm riding around listening to.
Yeah.
Like it ain't none of that. So I get it, but bruh, sometimes some people are right.
Bruh, I'm gonna tell you where the lie is. I mean, he could be right about the label and all that other shit, but what we know for sure is his career started going on a downhill after he stopped working with Drake. That's what happened. When he started trying to do his own things, at first he was, kind of steady. What it was, the Red album. Mm-hmm. The Red album, was kind of decent. Then after that, shit just started shooting down.
I mean, okay, but he's right, because that means that what happens is you don't have the machine. But also we're saying you also
don't have the producers.
Right, but that's all a part of it though, bro. Kanye, did you see the Kanye joint?
Uh-huh.
Look at Kanye. Kanye would be like Talib Kweli right now if he didn't have a machine behind him.
That's true.
And I guess when you in the music business and you see both sides, that is a very valid point. When you don't have that machine behind you, you don't get those looks. You don't have the budget to pay those high-end producers. You don't have all of those luxuries that major artists do. He's right.
All right. Let me get back to Eminem versus Game.
Okay.
Eminem versus Game. They get on the stage, they do a versus. It's basically going to be a live concert with it's going to be sold out
And
full of white kids.
No. that may be true.
It's going to be like $300 a ticket.
That's true. You're going to have that.
Yeah.
But when they start playing that music, it's a whole different ball game, bro.
Eminem going to smoke them.
No. That's not what's going to happen, bro. It's not what's going to happen.
So we got
So you mean hold on.
How We Do versus Lose Yourself. That's what we doing.
Okay.
Is Lose Yourself for sure.
Okay.
What else we got?
I wouldn't do How We Do versus that. I would do Dreams.
Dreams?
Or either I would do Crack Music with Kanye.
And let's also speak about this also.
What's that?
The documentary was supposed to be 50 Cent's second album.
Bro, okay, that's cool.
How We Do, like those stories he said on Drink Champs, I don't believe that shit. Talking about I heard the How We Do beat and 50 heard me.
But
I don't
like
believe that shit.
once again, this is a person who says stuff for shock value. So a lot of times I get it. Most of the time when he talk, people be like, whatever. Because he say crazy stuff. But in this moment right now, he's right. Now, all that stuff about he did What Up Gangster and all right, bro. Okay, cool. All right.
Ain't it hard to get behind somebody like that, though?
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes people tell the truth, though, bro.
Yeah.
We can't deny that.
But it's kind of hard. It's like sifting out, like looking for gold.
I get it.
It's hard.
I get it. But in this matter here, he's right, sir.
Nah, I just
don't
this. See it.
The game, and with a versus, you see everything that comes with versus. You bring features, you bring producers, you bring all these other singers, all that. Game has all of that available. He's done records with everybody. Just think if he brought Gucci Mane out, bitch, I might be. Just think if he say, man, Just Blaze, I want you to DJ. Just think if he do Crack Music and bring Kanye West out. Just think if he do Welcome to My Hood and say, man, I want this person out. Bro, what?
What if Eminem bring out Jay-Z and do Renegade?
That's the only thing that's gonna be the saving grace. Well, we know Jay ain't doing nobody versus.
Nah, you never know.
Man, bro.
Jay don't like Game.
Listen,
we know that shit.
But Jay is on another level beyond any of this music shit, bro.
Nah, bro.
Listen.
Once you love music, bro, you love that shit forever, dog. That shit ain't like sports.
Listen, Jay-Z is on a whole different playing field, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't even know where they would do that versus at. There's nowhere you can do that at. Where you gonna do it at?
If Eminem's there, it's gonna have to be somewhere like Madison Square Garden or something.
That ain't big enough.
You don't think so?
Jay-Z was selling out Madison Square Garden by himself.
Yeah.
They just did. Who was it? That was Jada or the Locks. The Locks versus Dipset was in Madison Square Garden. You think that's big enough for Jay?
Nah. I mean, but Jay will be a special guest for M.
Man, no. He don't have that kind of bond with him.
Yeah.
He don't have that kind of bond with that man like that.
Who you think versus better, Jay or M on Renegade?
Lyrically, from a technical standpoint, Eminem out-rapped him, but I connected with Jay better.
I told you I don't like him because he's white.
It has nothing to You know what it is? You know what it is?
What is it?
Just because it's almost like a person who learns. So you got, when it comes to creating, you have the technical aspect, and then you have the creative aspect. So you got people who technically can play guitars, technically can play pianos, all these different things. And then you got somebody like Jimi Hendrix who can play a guitar. Then you got somebody like Bob James who can play the piano. It's a difference. That's the difference. I don't care just because you know how to put all these words together and chop up. Half of the shit we don't even understand.
That's true. But that's why I said earlier.
That don't mean
it's more so about
the
the delivery, because Papoose should have been one of the biggest artists too.
I agree. And do you find it ironic that all of the African American artists who have that skill set of lyricism are nowhere near his level.
And you think that's because of the industry and the machines?
I know that's because of the industry. I know it for a fact.
Hip hop was in a different place then, though.
Bro, I don't care. I know for a fact that is why he's where he is. Can't take that.
I agree.
If you
I'm
look,
not gonna sit here and disagree on that.
Before that, what was he doing?
Who?
Eminem. Before Dre came along, what was he doing?
Doing pop shit.
No, I'm saying musically. He was on that circuit with Rockers Records.
Oh, yeah.
Where the rest of them guys at?
That's true.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you.
Then he went pop and bleached his hair and shit.
No, but not even just that. Once what happens is in that situation, now we have a situation. See, okay, I'm finna go deep. This type of thing has been happening to black music for a very long time. You got a lot of artists. If you ever watch some of them old movies about how they used to have black bands who would make these songs and they try to give the songs to another artist.
Yeah, so let me tell you about that too. That's why I wish my homeboy Big King, who's on my podcast, was here. Mm-hmm. He has this theory that we're not that far along from hip hop becoming an all white genre, just like all the other genres in the past.
No,
that's his theory. I feel like that's where you was going with it.
No, the reason I say that won't happen is because we have technology that allows anybody and everybody to be a part of this culture. Mm-hmm. So it's still very much so black music, and we dictate what happens. They don't come out. Eminem was the first one who he probably was the first. No, I can't say he's the first because because Vanilla Ice emulated what others were doing. Eminem to me had his own style, which I give him that. Like lyricism, like Andre 3000 is my GOAT rapper. Mm-hmm. Eminem is one of his favorite rappers. I get it, but he created his own thing. You don't have other white rappers doing that. They copy what everybody else do. And see, this to be the touchy subject because people get on fence about it. Oh, it's just because of this, it's just because of that. Bro, we can't. You want people, it's amazing how you want people to turn off, you want people to turn a blind eye to a lot of things that, no, these are real facts. This is truth. This is reality. But we don't want to say that because, man, I love him as an artist. It's just like R. Kelly. I don't separate R. Kelly from the music. I view R. Kelly as a man, the same person that made that music. That music that he made was inspired by his activities. Other people are going to say, man, I don't care. I'm still listening to R. Kelly. That ain't got nothing to do with me. We do that with all these artists. We pick and choose, you know what I'm saying, who we want to do. But then Bill Cosby do something and everybody, crack jokes about Bill Cosby.
But Bill Cosby said he hate niggas, though.
I mean, it's a lot of people said that. Eminem said he hate niggas.
Y'all ain't said that.
Eminem got a freestyle about that. Oh, see, this is the part we want to forget about. That's the part
I ain't never seen it.
Oh, bro, listen. I will send it to you, sir. He had to apologize, but ain't nobody want to talk about that. He was mad because he was dating a black girl and she broke up with him, got upset. Oh, yeah.
When was this?
Bro, this was early in his career. This was after Dre. This was after the stardom. But yes, Eminem has definitely, yes. So that's the guy y'all bumping.
Nah, man, I don't really listen to him like that. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never really been no fan, bro. Back then, when Eminem was hot, when he had his Diamond album, mm-hmm. I was on Pimp Juice. That was my shit. I was listening to Blueprint and Pimp Juice because I was number like 10 years old. I ain't care about that shit Eminem was talking about, but I still understood how big his stardom was because my viewpoint with hip hop is a little different. When I was like from the ages of 7 to 13, I lived in Germany. So we only had German MTV. So only big pop records played on that MTV station. Mm-hmm. Like big pop rap albums. Rap records. So it was only Eminem songs. It was only Jay-Z, Excuse Me Miss. It was only Nelly, Country Grammar, Pimp Juice and shit. That was it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you if you want it, but yeah.
How many views it got on YouTube?
This ain't the original. This somebody reposted these. But I mean, it ain't like he put it out. Somebody leaked it. You know what I mean? But yeah, but we forget that kind of stuff.
Man, look.
All right, I get it. Y'all don't listen.
Eminem got
ain't
bigger
ready for this
songs than Game.
Nelly versus Ludacris. You saw that?
That was one of the first verses.
Did you see that one?
Yeah. It was the second verses, wasn't it?
It was
Second or
third, I think.
Yeah.
Luda beat the brakes off him. Perfect example. And Nelly all the way around is a bigger artist, has bigger records, sold more records, has country records, pop records, all of that. And he and Luda beat the brakes off him.
But it ain't like no big ass difference. Luda had his run too now.
Luda was not.
Man, it's like Nelly Luda.
Bro, when you
Game
got,
and Eminem is like this.
Bro, when you got a country record, you have a legit country western record, not a hip hop record that sounds country. You have a country record. That is a whole nother level, bro. At one point, that was the most successful genre of music.
Correct.
So when you compare those two, or you can say Lil Jon and T-Pain, you can say a bunch of people that were commercially more successful, but that also goes back to the point of who had the machine behind them.
But we talking about Eminem and Game. We talking about How We Do versus Lose Yourself.
Watch this. I'm gonna run some.
We talking about diamond albums.
Let me run some
versus
songs.
some platinum albums.
Bro, a lot of people got diamond albums.
That's true.
Nelly had diamond
but
albums.
not Game.
Nelly got diamond albums. And
but not Game.
Why did Nelly lose the Ludacris then?
His sound was fucked up. You laughing? His sound was fucked up though.
Listen,
bro, his sound was fucked up.
Dress it up however you want to, bro.
His sound was fucked up and he was drunk.
The game can throw some D's on it. Players only with R. Kelly. Tell Me When to Go. Crack music with Kanye. Easy with Kanye. What new song do Eminem got in the current times that people are bumping? None. Celebration.
Yeah, them shits is bad.
Okay. One Blood joint. Forget about that. Just imagine that coming through the speakers in an arena.
Man, imagine Eminem crank a 8 Mile skit.
Man, imagine cranking it up
and kick a freestyle.
Imagine
from 8 Mile.
cranking it up all the way up. Imagine cranking it up 100 and he bring Drake out. Imagine
that ain't happening.
I might be.
You talking about Hove? If
Gucci
Hove ain't coming out, Drake ain't coming out.
Man, Drake like that kind of stuff. Drake go to battles already right now.
That's true, but Drake also get paid.
Right. And
he get paid from battles.
Listen, if they got enough money to pay Eminem, which is gonna have to be a check now, don't get it twisted.
I know.
By no means am I saying that Eminem is not a big artist. He is with everything that he got going on. But that's the one thing that they love about verses is verses don't got ain't no marketing behind that. Ain't no hiding behind no videos and all that other stuff. Ain't none of that going on. All it is you on stage, your performance, and your music. That's it. And that's why I'm telling you, when Eminem started playing Rap God and all that, man, listen, he gonna need 1 million of his fans in that building to help him get through that.
Well, if it's in as big of a stadium as you say, they're gonna be there.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know. I mean, be honest with you, something that big, they may not do a big stadium because they big. I mean, it's a bigger artist, but I mean, y'all listen. I know all the Eminem fans gonna be mad at me. I've been getting quotes all day long. And, man, you tripping? Y'all just hating because he white. That has nothing to do with it. But y'all don't. None of y'all listen to. Like I said, none of y'all listen to. What's the boy name? Tech Nine. Ain't nobody listen to Hobson. Ain't nobody listen to Cannabis. Ain't nobody listen to none of those rappers. But y'all love Eminem. Make it make sense, bro.
Only fast rapper I ever liked was Twista.
Me too, yeah.
And Buster.
I like Buster too.
Twista and Buster.
Buster.
I didn't listen to Eminem. I ain't listen to Cannabis. I ain't.
But listen, all these Eminem fans that love all this music, listen, I want them to do that. Like, go ahead. Like, and that's the thing that's crazy to me is like, we turn a blind eye to the things we don't want to pay attention to. Because then it'd be like, man, y'all just like street music. Nah, this is about hip hop, bro. This is about this culture. This is about that part that most people don't comprehend, man.
You had a great take on Mark podcast that he still ain't put out yet about fans getting behind street music.
Yeah.
That was a great take.
It's it's easy to do because you making music for the people in the hoods where you from, so you connecting with them, so you automatically got a fan base. Mm-hmm. We can open up Instagram right now, and there's a new rapper from Arkansas that got a crazy following that we never heard of, but he got thousands of people because when it comes to the streets, see, I used to sell music. That's the other part a lot of people forget. I used to sell music when I was younger, so in that, you got to see how people will respond to music. And that's why it's easier to sell street music than it is to sell, you know what I mean, a Eminem or, you know what I mean, an Outkast or, you know, an artist that might be different. Because the people that, when you make music for the people who are where you from, they going to send it to everybody. Like I remember when Plies broke, people used to be like, hey man, y'all got that new Plies mixtape? I remember when Jeezy broke. I remember when T.I., it was T.I., but they was looking for the PSC mixtapes. I remember all that. Like, that's how it moves. So
how does a rapper that's new and independent, that's not from the streets, get broke then? He has to utilize the internet? There's no other way?
No, it's a couple different ways. I mean, the internet that's a free tool, so I mean, there ain't no way around that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think right now, it's because of the internet, you get access to so many different people. You have to tap into the people that like what you like. One of my favorite rappers, Crit. I think that's the one thing that helps Crit because Crit came along and did a lot of the college circuits and stuff, and he came through that era with Wiz Khalifa and a lot of those other guys. But that social media platform for him works wonders, you know what I mean? Because he's able to cultivate a crowd that works for his music. That's why right now, like, bro, anybody can do this, to be honest with you. You can have some god-awful music. You may not even know how to rap. Like, you may just be entertaining, and people will eat that alive.
Man, my homeboy told me that the other day, and that shit kind of pissed me off. He was like, Slim, what you don't understand is my music ain't gotta be good. I'm gonna just put the money behind it.
That's all that matters. The marketing is gonna take it.
That shit kind of pisses me off, though, because I know some people that really is passionate about music.
It does. When you, like, for me, like, as an artist, when you sitting around and you building these records and you know, coming up with these ideas and you seeking out production and you calling the musician and you getting somebody to lay the hooks, you getting it mixed, you getting this done, bro. The video, the flyer, all of that. And you got somebody come along and make a dumbass song and be like, bro, you heard that new song, such? Man, that shit crazy. You should have heard what they said. And next thing you know, they got a hit.
That sucks, though. Like, because, would it ever make you think, if you knew what you knew about music now, would you have ever done music?
Yeah, I'd be a monster.
For real?
Man,
what you would have did differently then?
I would have gave the people what they looking for.
And what's that?
I would have been more entertaining. I think my music now is more entertaining than it ever has been. You know what I'm saying?
When you say entertaining, I'm thinking you talking about like the baby at South by Southwest in a diaper.
No. That's marketing.
Yeah.
That's marketing. That's what that was. Entertaining is like the new record I got. It's a dance record. Mm-hmm. It's probably the first legit dance record that I got.
Yeah.
Where you literally can dance to it. Like 5-10 years ago, man, I would have told you hell no.
And why was that?
It just,
What's the mind frame you was in at that point?
I was still trying to be the dopest rapper. Yeah. Like that's the trick. Like, and that's why you have some of the greatest rappers in the world don't have commercial success, because now, like back then, when Biggie and Jay and Nas and Jadakiss and Fab and all that, only thing you had to do was be a dope rapper. When you was a dope rapper back then, they gonna bring in the producer, they gonna have somebody sing on your hooks, they gonna do all of that. So only thing you had to do was focus on being the best. Matter of fact, when mixtapes, even down south, you just had to make sure your record was banging. That's it. Now that stuff don't even matter. You ain't gotta know how. You can hire somebody to write it for you. You can wake up tomorrow and say, man, I don't want to do this no more. I want to be a rapper, and go find somebody. You can call me and say, I need you to write me a record. Meet me in the studio.
I'll be an R&B singer though.
That happens too. You don't even
go get a 6-pack.
You don't even have to know how to sing. All you get
Jerry curl.
Go in there, turn that auto tune on. As long as you can hum, you good.
when auto-tune first came out, you used to have to like know how to tweak auto-tune perfectly for it to sound like that, or it would sound real digital and squeaky.
Yeah, it's still some work you got to do, but people want digital and squeaky though.
But it seems like everybody knows how to use that shit now though.
I mean, it gets better over time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Your plugins and stuff gonna get better, but no, I mean, look at Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, when Lil Wayne first started using auto-tune, that shit was garbage.
Matter of fact, look at Andre 3000. To me, he's the father of all these little guys because he started singing when people was like, man, what is that? We don't want that.
Prototype, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Times.
Now everybody's saying, I'm a dinosaur because I don't sing. I mean, I'm just being honest. That's just how it go. But, yeah, I mean, with innovation, you always gonna have the good and the bad. So with technology coming along, it's gonna be good and bad that come with it.
Do you like the direction music is headed?
Yeah.
Really? What you like about it?
Because
where it differs from like the 90s or the 2000s.
Now you have an opportunity to hear more people. And even though you have a lot of trash, you got a lot of good music that comes along too. And the only thing you need now is music and an internet connection. I find new artists all the time. Half the time, I don't even listen to mainstream artists.
Who's your favorite new artist right now? Newer artist. It doesn't have to be somebody that's brand spanking new.
I ain't gonna say new word, but I would say like DeLorean. Like he's out of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did an album called Lord Block Me from the Cold. Man, I've been playing that for the last, I think it's been out like 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just raw, and he talking that talk, but he talking it from a grown man perspective. Who else? I like Deontay Hitchcock. I was on him early. He kind of getting more into singing stuff too, but he can spit. He's a youngin', but he can go, like really can go. Who else? I don't know. Let me see who else I'm listening to in my joint. But no, I listen to a lot of underground joints more than anything.
So you don't listen to too much mainstream music like the Baby and Youngboy?
No,
they just
I can't tell you nothing about them. And I just
why
watched
you don't listen to that type shit?
I mean, I did in the beginning, but it don't resonate with me. Because a lot of times I think they rap for shock value. Let me think of the craziest thing I could say on the record.
Yeah, so how you feel about like where music is at as far as that standpoint? Because let's be honest, some of the shit the Baby been putting out, that shit been real garbage. But his antics been keeping that shit going, keeping that shit pushing. Like he was on Breakfast Club and he said he ain't put an album out for 2 years, but it felt like the nigga was dropping every month because he was getting to so much shit every month.
I mean, he know how to keep the attention of the people, and that's the name of the game right now. Be honest with you, like, so one of the guys, shout out to JG, Guap God Films, he used to shoot videos for me like years ago. He's from Charlotte. He used to shoot for the Baby. The Baby was doing like, making music, trying to make this club joints, trying to do this. And once he realized, he even said in the interview, once he realized how to get the attention of the people, it don't matter what he do now. He can rap over the same beat 1 million times, they're going to buy it.
He ain't put a song out that was good in a long time. The last song he put out that was good was that song with Wayne, that Lonely.
Oh.
That shit was hard.
I mean, for me, a lot of times when it comes to like what he talk about, I don't really, like, I'm a firm believer. I listen to things that I can connect with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some kind of way, it got to be some kind of connection between me and that person. I can't just listen to stuff I know people that listen to music purely because they just like the way it sounds, which is cool, but for me, I don't do that.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I mean, I saw his interview just on the Breakfast Club, but as far as that album, the new joint, I don't know. Because everything he do is planned. Like, I don't believe none of this stuff is real. Like the fight with the brother and all that, I don't believe that's real.
For real? Bruh, I swear. I should have had Big King and Blue on this pod because Blue be asking me shit like that. Like, we be on the pod. Dog, my nigga Blue is one of them people that don't watch nothing. He don't pay nothing, no attention. Mm-hmm. He a security guard at Truth. Trina came to the VIP section. He asked her for her band. He one of them type niggas.
How young he is?
He the same age as me. 31. He 31 years old.
Oh yeah, nah.
He don't know shit about music. He don't know shit about no movies. He don't know nothing about nothing. He think he know about football. He don't know shit about football. He played football. He don't know shit about no football.
He didn't know Trina.
He didn't know Trina.
He from the South.
He born and raised in Augusta, Georgia. All right, I was working in Truth.
Ooh.
I'm getting off subject too, but I was working in Truth one night, and he was working the same time. And I'm in front of the stage filming, and he comes up to me and whispers because he doing security. He comes up and whispers to me and go, "Hey Slim, which one of them is Big Meech?" I said Blue. Big Meech is locked up. He said, "So who the hell is supposed to be here tonight?" I said, "His son, Lil Meech." He said, "Okay, so which one of them is Lil Meech?" I said, "The only nigga on stage with 2 big ass VVS chains on." And he was like, "Oh, the nigga with the lighthouse." I said, "Yeah, him."
With the lighthouse. I mean, I can see that way to come to Meech because you got a lot of people. You got people that still don't watch Power, but Trina been out forever.
I don't think he knows a song about Trina. He's one of them type people.
Hey, you got.
I got off subject. I forgot why I even brung him up. But I said he should have been on here because dang, I forgot what you had said. What you had said before I said that? I
think we were talking about how people how easy it is to sell street music, or how we feel about people not being talented and being in the music business.
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say about that. I got off subject talking about Trina and shit.
Yeah.
But that night was crazy though.
Yeah.
My nigga don't know nobody, dog.
That's crazy.
I tell people all the time, and I got one more thing I want to talk to you about after I say this too.
Okay.
But I tell people all the time about it'll be somebody that does music locally, right? And they would give up and they'll be super talented. Like, no lie, I know 2 guys that's probably the most talented in the city when it comes to that music shit. And they don't even know it because they see somebody like, I shouldn't drop no names, but they see somebody like Itchy, like Flyer, and they like, why can't I be like these guys? Mm-hmm. And it's like, cause you're not street niggas like them. So you're not gonna be getting invited into the club and doing things like that. You gotta move a certain way. People aren't just gonna gravitate towards you because you feel like you just the best lyrically. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta present yourself a certain way. Mm-hmm. So,
I think what people don't realize when it comes to that, which also goes into street music as well, a lot of times people don't realize how much marketing goes into that. Mm-hmm. So let's just say hypothetically, which I don't know, I put both of those guys on flyers, but I don't know them personally.
Okay.
I think some of these big homies
I
know, but I don't know them personally. But most of the time when I see artists or street artists like that, their social media resembles their life. Mm-hmm. That's a part of the marketing. So when I can log on to Instagram or Facebook and see a picture of you might be posted in your hood. You might, be posted on your car. You might be in the studio with a big producer. You might be buying jewelry. You might be smoking or whatever. All of that is marketing. So it's easier for them because naturally, like I said, they're going to automatically have a fan base if they got great music. It resonates with the people where they're from. So let's just say, I don't know where they're from. Mm-hmm. Take Pig. Shout out to Pig. Pig is from OS. When Pig dropped, hit the city, it was anybody who liked that music was on that. So even if you was from Barton Village, if you was from South Uptown, South Augusta, if you was from wherever, if that music connected with you, you was rocking with it. The same rules apply for them. That's why those type artists or those 2 particular names that I keep hearing, they probably the biggest ones in the city right now because they got a built-in fan base. Only thing they doing is they marketing, but not realize that they marketing. If you go to the club and you see them, or they go to the club and they in the VIP, and somebody doing a video and they post that joint on their Instagram or whatever, that's all marketing. The people who out there hustling in the streets trying to get their money, that's a celebration for that. That's what that's about. Most people just think you just in the club throwing, all of that is a part of your marketing and promotion, bro.
I got another funny story. I was just talking about my homeboy Blue. The night Pig and V-Tech did that versus. Blue was shooting a vlog for V-Tech. He had no idea who nobody was. And me, I'm not from Augusta. I moved here when I was in 8th grade, which was 2004, 2003, 2004. But I remember when I moved here, the summer I moved here, I remember going to the mall and seeing these group of girls following Pimpzilla.
My boy Zilla.
And I was like, who is this nigga? Because at the time I'm thinking he kind of looked like Slim Thug, but he's short. I'm like, is that Slim Thug? And I'm short as hell at the time because I was like 4'11" probably. I'm about to go to 8th grade, and then I went to a teen club. I forgot which one it was. It was either Platinum or Tinted Windows or something. And he was just in there performing. He came, performed. That was it. And everybody was going crazy, like, oh my God, Pimpzilla, da da da. So then that's how I kind of like got in tune with like local artists in the city. So me and another one of my homeboys was talking about that. We was talking about Pig, we were talking about V-Tech, we was talking about Pimpzilla, and just talking about what they had going on, you know, in a group of people my age. And they all was like, boy, y'all niggas sound old as hell, boy. Ain't nobody care about them back then. I said, yes, they did. And I was explaining to them. This is why I brought this up. I was explaining to them. Today, the local scene today is nothing but a whole bunch of local artists just sitting around watching each other perform. That's the local scene today. Back then, it was actually a scene. Like, it was actually people that followed them.
It was bigger than that.
Yeah.
It was bigger than that.
You can explain better than I can. That's why I brung it up.
So when I was a little dude, I worked at a record shop, Four Corner Records, turning All About Music. And most people probably know it as Cyrus Corner, if you remember back then. It was a handful of names that I would hear during this time. So you had Millionaires and Players, which at that time was V-Tech and Wolf, you know, R.I.P. Wolf. You had, their whole crew was the Franchise Boys. So you had Millionaires and Players, Verbal Abusers, Illegal Soldiers, which was Maniac, and I know one gonna be mad because I'm finna mess up his name. Mr. Hill. That was his
Mr.
name.
Hill,
Mr. Hill.
Shout out Mr. Hill.
Bro, them boys would come to that record shop. I think Buck, who was their producer, was drawing the flyers. So like how you see how the Doggy Style cover look? They would draw their flyers like that. So like that Monday, they would drop off these flyers.
I like that look though. That's the what's the Outkast album? It just slipped my fucking mind.
You probably talking about you probably not ATLians. You probably talking about Aquemini.
Aquemini. There you go. I don't know how that shit slipped my mind.
Yeah, but they would drop these flyers off. By the party would be like that Friday or Saturday. By that Friday or Saturday, it's literally 500 people in the club, and all of them came to see them. Not rappers, all the street dudes, all the dope boys, all the fly chicks, all that. All of them was in the clubs.
The people my age listening is not about to believe that.
I know they can't, but see, they can't understand that because they don't even know what that's like. They don't even know what it's like to get money off of this stuff back then.
Tell them what the party scene was like back then and how local artists was getting money.
The party scene was two different things because, see, as a local artist, you did your own shows. We did, like I was in a group called The Dynasty. We did our first show, I think we did like 200 people, but we was like the youngins to like V-Tech and all these other artists. But back then, you would rent the building, you know what I mean? Like the Boathouse, which used to be the big house or whatever. You would rent the building and you throw the party, you get all the money. It wasn't no such thing as no club promoter. The DJs were the promoters. So you had DJ Kiki who would bring
I just told somebody that yesterday. DJ used to promote.
Yeah.
My homeboy Damo, I was just talking about.
Yeah.
He was a DJ and I was explaining to him how like basically he got paid his fee for the night, but he really was a promoter.
But like if Kiki was doing your party back then, everybody was coming. But yeah, if Kiki was doing, like Kiki brought Yin Yang Twins, Lil Jon, Young Bloods, Dirty, Camouflage, who else? It was a bunch of groups. Like he always brought groups to the city. But most people don't even know that. Like I said, this was prior to the club promoter even existing. The club owners, you know what I mean, either the DJ or the club owner themselves, that was the person who was in charge of getting the people there. So people don't even understand that. I'll be honest, the part I played, shout out my homeboy Tyrese. When I first started getting into graphics, Tyrese was like, bro, we need to see about getting these flyers like they do in Atlanta, which is your little postcards. Mm-hmm. See, back then, you would go get a poster from like Kinko's or Southern Post out of Atlanta or whatever. So we brought that whole game to the table. So I got a contract with PK Graphics. I got a broker deal. And we was getting boxes of flyers for like dirt cheap. I get a box of flyers for like $75. But I sell that same box for like $200. And then I turn around and the actual graphic work would be, like the whole box would be like $250 or whatever. And it wasn't no such thing as no, like a lot of people don't know, like, shout out to Hank at Press Tech. Like, I met Hank, he had a mailing service, and I went to them because I was trying to get flyers faster than ordering out of Florida. And that's how they started getting into doing the flyer business. So the whole way that people create and market and promote right now did not exist back then.
So how was the club promoter birthed then? It wasn't no club promoter back then.
Be honest with you, don't quote me on this, but I would honestly say Network Inc. was probably the first like legit club promoter, which was Rico and Tyshawn. And that was Rico, Tyshawn, Piggy, and Deshawn. That was like the first. I think in the beginning it was just Rico, and then I think it was Rico and Ty. I may be wrong, but in my mind, as a graphic designer, they was first. Then you had Flacco, you had Zeb with Boss Entertainment, you had, Pimp Zilla started DJing, and then he got into promoting. I think that's what that was. But they were coming in and doing their own parties and stuff like that, and that's how it got started. Like I think Tynan was doing like big Mondays on like a Monday night, but it would be packed. Like now you do a party on a Monday, you skating on thin ice, but back then, man, people party any day of the week. You had a club to go to every day of the week in Augusta.
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
Because one, you got people. So one, I remember
it was still a thing about 10 years ago though.
I don't know if it was still a thing then.
It was still a thing because I remember it was when I was going to Georgia Southern at the time.
10 years ago, 2012. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because it used to be playground on Monday.
But that's because you had different vibes.
Yeah.
Everybody doing the same thing now.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I know if I want to go, like, I can go downtown and hit Club Island and get a reggae vibe if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. If I want to go on some cool stuff, I go to this club. If I want some old school vibes, this. If I want on some hood stuff, I can go here. I mean, let's not forget Cream, Malibu, S-Bar, Lavish, all these different clubs that offer these different vibes. Dreams, Cloud 9. I mean, it's like you had options, but now everybody is catering after the one crowd, like all of them.
And what is that?
They want a young street crowd. That's what all of them want. Even the bars downtown, half of the bars downtown is going to be the same vibe that you would get inside of a Level 9.
I don't know. Studio a little different, though. And Empire started out a little different, but then they went to the street crowd.
Yeah, of course. Everybody going to start out different, but the people on top of that also. But then I'm going to tell you the other thing, too. I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that we probably don't recognize, which I had a conversation with somebody. Social media destroyed all of this.
Why you say that?
Because social media allows people to communicate with people without leaving home. That's why dudes, I bet women probably get way more dudes in their DMs than they do guys approaching them on the street.
Oh, I believe that also.
So, and then for a woman, she, for her to dress up in her favorite outfit, take a picture and get 400-500 likes. That's that. Is that dopamine? What it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. What she need to go out for?
She already got it all.
She can flirt and entertain and get the attention of men from the comfort of her home.
That shit sound kind of sad though. Somebody getting dressed, posting a picture, and taking it off and sitting on the couch.
You think they ain't doing that?
I mean, I think they is, but I hope not.
I know they doing it.
Nah, that shit's sad.
Dudes doing it too.
I mean,
They're gonna put on their favorite outfit with the J's that come out. They're gonna make sure the designer belt showing. They're gonna make sure all of that. Oh yeah, they doing the same thing.
it's been a minute since I seen somebody do it, but I seen a young kid do it, a young street guy.
Or they gonna take that little rent money, all the money they got.
Yeah.
That might be their re-up money, or whatever. They gonna hold that junk to their ear. And the girl's gonna be in there. What you doing? What you talking about? Yeah. So now what I need to go out for?
Yeah.
I ain't gotta go out. I can DM her. Man, what you doing? Nothing. Man, I'm gonna slide over that way. All right.
So do you like the scene right now?
No.
Not at all. But you put on kind of some different events. Like you was just talking about, it used to be different type of vibes. Mm-hmm. Your vibe a little different.
But I do that on purpose because I know it's a lot of people here that are not being serviced. It's a lot of people here, and they go.
So what would you call your the vibe of your events? Like the Mahogany Lounge. What would you call that? My girl said she loved that shit too.
Till I said appreciate it. But all of these events, honestly, to me, it just serve different purposes. Like my parents would come to Mahogany Lounge. Mm-hmm. But if I did Trap and Paint, they ain't coming to Trap and Paint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So each one of them serve a certain purpose or whatever. And I really just pay attention to what people want. Like somebody DM me today, like, man, I need you to bring this event to Augusta. I'm like, all right, let me work on it. But all of these things, I just realized that people are entertained differently now. Like you got a lot of tours that are all over this country, and I don't think people understand it. Like how Henny Palooza came about.
I forgot about that shit already.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like how trap karaoke came about. All of these things are that's the new wave. But the difference is in Augusta, nobody want to do that. They gonna wait for you to do it, and when you do it, when I brought Trap and Paint to Augusta, it's 1 million people doing it now. Mm-hmm. Everybody doing it now, but they're not gonna create their own. When it's a lot of that, like you got grits and biscuits, you got
bro. How does one of them type events blow up like a Henny Palooza though?
Marketing. So when Henny Palooza, from my understanding from the story, started in New York, the problem with New York was that New York clubs got really, really expensive. Like it legit would cost you literally $100 just to walk in their joint.
That's insane. I would stay mine at home.
Right. So they needed an alternative. Mm-hmm. So I can't remember the guys' names. You know what I mean? I read the story and I've heard the interviews, but that's where these events come from.
Rory from Joe Budden podcast, they started to do say Palooza too.
Right. But that's the same event. It's just a spinoff.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of these events, the way they work, these liquor companies sponsor them. Mm-hmm. It's a dope event called Art Beats and Lyrics. They've been sponsored by Gentleman's Jack. I've been to it a couple times, but they tour the entire country. So everywhere they go, I think they doing Queens in a couple weeks. They got Rakim performing. Mm-hmm. Or if they're in Houston, Bun B's performing. But that's because they got liquor companies backing these events like that. With Trap and Paint, when they went viral, the Shade Rooms got behind them. And they sponsored the tour.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, they went viral from Augusta. Mm-hmm. But, you know what I mean? A lot of times Augusta get overlooked when it comes to that kind of stuff. But, that was the breaking point. Like, legit. Like, matter of fact, they gave me a few thousand followers behind that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when the Shade Room posted it and it went crazy like that, then they started looking for bigger venues. And then, they had issues amongst the crew and everybody kind of broke apart when they did their own thing. But people are being entertained differently now.
Speaking of that picture we took in front of the Augusta sign, I seen a couple folks repost that picture. Tell them to tag me next time.
I got you.
I'm bullshitting.
I got you.
But nah. I think a lot of people don't want to do the event thing though, because if you talk to somebody that'll have a real conversation with you, like you had some real conversation with me, and I appreciate it because I can go back and tell my people that be wanting to get into stuff like that that it ain't what it looked like. Because you'll have a conversation with somebody, like I know people that put parties on and put events on, and they'll be like, yeah, boy, last night I went home with like $7-8 grand.
Who said they made that much money?
So some people said it. I've had conversations
the
with
club
people.
owner or the promoter?
The promoter.
In this day and age right now?
Nah, they'll be talking about something from the past, like bringing a celebrity out or something.
Oh, from the past?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the money was way different. Man,
Oh, nah. I know one promoter. I will speak on this because I definitely believe him. I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't think he'll trip. Mark Rain told me. He said he was at Georgia Southern. It was the same year I went to school there, and he was like, we left that weekend. I had about 16 grand. He was like, I was scared the whole ride. Like, man, what if something happened? I got all this money, and I said, oh, I believe you because that homecoming was crazy. So I believe that.
So that was when he was at
that was 2013.
I don't know what that is. We did.
It was Black Tie on the club. It was called Platinum in Statesboro.
Okay.
Downtown Statesboro. I remember that, and that shit was packed. I got a picture in there.
Okay.
It was packed like a motherfucker all weekend.
But see, I'm gonna tell you
Travis
something.
Porter came that weekend too.
Okay. A lot of people sleep on the outskirts. A lot of people sleep on the small towns. It's some dudes getting that kind of money in the smaller towns. Yeah. But that's because in those towns, you can't wake up and start a social media and be a promoter. You got to be that man. You got to either be the dude with the cars or the dude with the chicks or the dude that cut hair, the dude this or whatever. You got to actually be that person. You can't just create that. And a lot of those guys in those markets been doing it forever. Like I just saw a flyer with King Lee on it. King Lee been around, bro, probably I know at least 20 years. At least. Probably more than that.
And who was King Lee?
He a big time DJ in like a lot of the country spots or whatever. But they might do a party or they might do joints, man. They might have 1,500, 2,000 people. You know what I mean? Because it's different in those markets, in those smaller towns. But you tell somebody like in Augusta that, they don't know nothing about that. Because they couldn't do it. They couldn't go out there and build no situation. There's some guys that went out there and built situations like that. But, yeah, it's money in events, but it's working it, though, too. Yeah. That's what most people just see all the other stuff. You make a flyer, put it up, and think people coming. No. You got to know some people. You got to talk to the right people. You got to talk to this person who going to buy the right take, who going to buy the booth, who going to this chick going to bring her people with her. This girl do hair, so she know these many people. You know how to know all of that. And you got to know how to talk to them people. You got to know how to work with them people. I done had people that come to my... I done had people that really, really support my events. Like when I moved from Charlotte, got really, really mad and was like, bruh, why did you leave Augusta?
Yeah.
Because they went to an event and people chunked them off. You know what I mean? They promised them one thing and didn't give them that. And they felt insulted. When it's like, as a businessman, me knowing that person, I'm going to look out for you because you're going to guarantee me, you yourself can bring me 50 people. So why, you know what I mean? Like, why would I mess that up? But, nah, it's work that comes with that business. But for me, man, I just do it because I know it's people out there who want to have a good time and don't want to have to travel, but they may not want what everybody else is offering.
So it's not about the money with you when it comes to throwing events. It's literally about...
No, it's definitely about the money. It's definitely about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to make it affordable.
Yeah.
If I ask you to come to an event, trust and believe what I charge you is because I got to pay this poet, that band, this venue, the sound man, the light man, the
That's
person
what I
at
think
the door.
people don't understand is how much people get paid.
Oh, but the video guy, you know what I mean? The photographer, you got to pay for all that. And depending on where you at, especially... Like, when you in the club, it's a little easier because some of the club might eat the security costs, or they might eat this, or they might split it with you. When you rent that venue, now I got to pay insurance. I had to go get event insurance for the prom because they was like, oh, no, you can't do nothing without event insurance. I'm like, for what?
How much is event insurance?
I mean, it depends on if you serving liquor and how many people you got.
Because I had to get photography insurance before, and that shit was like $9 a month.
No, this joint here on the low end about $250.
Yikes.
Right. So if you got, just imagine
that's car insurance.
Right. Just imagine if you're doing about 1,000 people. Oh, it's even bigger, bro.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? But most people don't understand that part when it comes to events and stuff like that. But
I don't think most people that own businesses understand insurance, period. Like, if you ask them what an umbrella was right now, I bet they can't tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. You right, because you got people that I know people that are open full blown clubs with no business plan in order, no structure.
Yeah.
So
I got a crazy story about that. That's not for the camera and the mic story.
bro, you know we can go on for days with these stories.
Hey, the events get crazy, but man, I had to ask you about the club scene thing too because this is like my 4th attempt asking somebody about like what's a promoter, how they get paid, how much do promoters get paid, and nobody will answer me.
Some promoters don't get paid.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe, man. Joe attempted to answer it, but he tap danced real well. He told us this story about how he booked Plies and he lost money.
Yeah, Plies did him dirty. He did him dirty on that one. But that kind of I got a hard story too.
What is it?
The Pastor Troy show.
What happened? See, Pastor Troy.
That's
one that's gonna go on forever. I know that's a long story. But bro,
hold on. See, you know what? Let's go and talk about it. Here's my issue. Like if someone came to me with that idea, even me doing the song, I did the song and they was like, bro, it's a sample from his record. You know him. Why don't you try to get a feature? Which I did. When I did the feature, it was a cakewalk. Hit him up, sent me his number, send me the record. Oh, I got you. I'll beat you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I played it over the phone. Send him the paper. Boom. Everything straight. Time for the video. Bro, this one the video, just go, okay, cool. Matter of fact, when we finish the song, bro, whenever you're ready to do the video, hit me up. A month or two later, listen, my man who do my videos in Atlanta, I'm going to just come there. Did all of that. Came to Atlanta. Got everything straight. Rented the space. Came, did the video. Rocked out. Some of the homies was there, took pictures with him. Left. Hit him and said, yo, I got some people want to do a show. What's up? When the date? It's in Augusta, 706, blah, 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 blah. Everything straight. Did the contract. Sent it to him. He signed the contract. Sent it back. Sent him the deposit. Everything straight. And after that, it just went left. The night of, like, ghosted. It's just like.
Why you think that is, though?
It's word in the street that, you know what I mean, somebody was, you know, they was going to do something to him or whatever. Only thing that confuses me about it is I done been around when he did these shows prior to that show. Mm-hmm. And it ain't really been nothing. Just like he came for Paying Homecoming. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And then I had other people be like, well, bro, he just be like that. He finicky like that. So for me, I just take it as you ain't got no business dealing with that. You know what I mean? When it come to life and you doing something, when you have situations like that, to me, that just shows me that, bro, you don't need to deal with that. Because I was going to get ready to book him for like another 3 joints. Because my people from Charlotte came down. So they was like, bro, that'll work. We can bring him here. We can bring him there. We can do all that. So for me, it would have been me booking him for shows, but I would get a return on my investment because people are going to want to see Pastor Troy. At the same time, I'm working my record in these other markets. That was the whole game plan. But after that, man, we set it up on the business, and I went, you know what I mean?
He shot you that deposit back?
Yeah, we worked there. We got all that back. But here's the funny thing. Everything was on contract. Everything was a wire transfer. Like, literally, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. After the joint, I ain't hear nothing from him. Like, I'm calling, like, bro, what's up? You know what I mean? No response. I hit my people, say, look, man, I need to go to small claims court. They was like, all right, this is what you need to do. Boom, 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 boom. That was like on Friday. Sunday, I'm chilling. Bing! My Zelle go off. I'm like, what?
I hope anybody listening to this right now is picking up what you saying. Have your paperwork and your business in order.
Oh yeah, it was a wrap because everything was done through his company and through my company. So only thing I would have did, I would have had to waste time, you know what I mean, dealing with that. But the part that bothers me is like, bro, if you ain't want to do the show, you could have just said it. Mm-hmm. If you would have said it, anything other than just handle that business the way you did. If you say, bro, I don't want to do the show, I don't feel comfortable, you could have just said it. Even after I sent you the deposit. Because the only thing I would have said was call my peoples in Cali and say, look, I got Troy on a date. What can we do? I would at least try to do something in another market. But nobody said nothing to me. I had conversations with guys from the city and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like me and Pig talk, you know what I mean? He explained to me a lot of stuff that I did not know. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, this is me. At the end of the day, if it was anybody else and I was in that same scenario, I understand you trying to get your money, do your thing. But I don't know honestly what happened. The only thing I know is we squared up on the business end, so I just went my separate ways, let it go. That's why you ain't see no I hate Pastor Troy and none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Because you'll see shit like that online from promoters. They'll flip the fuck out.
Oh yeah, because people will do it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and then
people,
they'll get labeled a janky promoter if they fuck up on something.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I said, he squared up on the business, but most people don't know, bro. Those are the horror stories that you deal with as a promoter.
What do you lose a night like that when the person who's supposed to be there doesn't show up?
Luckily for me, we didn't lose. Luckily for me, we had a couple people. Because so you had 706. Half of the VIPs was my peoples.
Mm-hmm.
So they like, bro, we had fun. It is what it is. The other side was an artist who won the showcase. Some other people that came to see Troy. Now I refunded the one girl her money for admission or whatever. You know what I mean? So if people came to me, and I know the other promoters involved, they did the same thing too. So it's never a situation where I'm just be like, try to chunk people off, but a lot of times it can get ugly. Sometimes it'll be a situation where you got to come up off that bread because some people, if he was a bigger artist or if the drama wasn't what it was, like they probably would have been a lot more mad. But I think some people came anticipating to see if it was going to go left. I'm being honest. I think some people came to see what was going to happen.
Treating it like it was a damn UFC match.
Yeah, they was like, we want to see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. But for me, that was just a lesson to me to say, bro, do something different. You know what I mean? Like, go a different route. So I'm like, cool. So I'll focus on my other events.
What is that different route, though?
So, I mean, a lot of the other events, you know what I'm saying? I can't disclose a whole lot, but some of the events I used to do in the past, I'm finna bring those back. I got approached with a concept from another friend to kind of create an event that centers around the music, that kind of like brings my music and everything into one. That's gonna be building pretty soon. So it's gonna be some stuff coming. It's just gonna be, I ain't really gonna be relying on the artists. You know what I mean? Like with Mahogany Lounge, this should be the 12th year anniversary. So these people I've known for over 12 years. So
Can I ask you about one event? And if you can't talk about it, I'll edit it out. I promise you.
What's that?
Are you gonna be doing any traveling events?
Who?
The traveling events that you talked to me about before.
Oh yeah. No. Definitely want to do that next year because I know like with the pandemic, you got to be careful. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that kind of had me hesitant is like I don't want to do that and the country shut down and then I got a few hundred people supposed to be going on a vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
people don't know that. Man, whenever you're doing any kind of event and something go left and you got to send that money back,
yeah,
that shit get hectic.
Oh yeah, it definitely do. But
especially how you take the payment. Like I had an issue with a lady who used a card through Square, and I refunded her money back the day after she asked me for it. And it takes like 2 weeks to hit her card back, and she was angry as hell. Like, if you don't get my money back by tomorrow, I'm going to court. And I'm like, it's nothing I can do. No. It takes some wire transfers, 2 weeks to come back.
No, it definitely, it do. But now for the most part, I've been using Eventbrite, but Eventbrite got expensive.
Yeah, I heard.
Bruh, I looked at the fees from the last event. I was like, bruh, y'all should have been down here, you know what I mean? Shaking some hands. Yeah, y'all should have been in the venue, boy, because y'all took more money than
the fee y'all got.
Right.
Y'all made more than the DJ and the caterer.
Right. Y'all done got more than the DJ, the caterer. Like, good God. But it's gonna be some more events. But no, the travel concept, I got a few friends that offer travel services. I've been in talks with them about that. So yeah, that'll be the move. I probably would do that next year. Just kind of like see what the world's gonna do, and just go from there. But yeah, but it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be more stuff for different people. I'm back working with Band of Brothers for the Juneteenth. They're gonna have a whole weekend. You know what I mean? And I like the dope thing about it. I got involved with them after they kind of got rolling, but they've been doing this for a long time. So now they finna get the backing of the city. So you're going to have, comedy show. You're going to have a black tie event. You're going to have the festival. It's going to be real big. So it's going to be more events, man. It's just going to be stuff that I think will appeal to a lot of different people.
Yeah, the party scene get a little weird, but when you do it how you doing it, like grown people events,
Yeah, I mean, but
it's kind of safe.
But the problem with the party scene is I don't know if they actually pay attention to what people want. I find that hard to believe because I know a lot of people that leave Augusta to go party.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier, and we can end on this. When did Augusta become the spot for only the hood clubs? Do you know what year that was? Because I remember when I was a kid, and when was this? This probably was 06. I was 16 years old. Cream was considered like a 25 and up club. That was right before it went hood. It went hood like a year later. But it was considered a 25 and up club. I know what I was gonna say earlier too. Most 25 and up clubs that has dress codes and things like that, they don't stick to them. Like, you ain't got to speak on this. I'll speak on it. Because I ain't trying to throw you under the bus. I ain't a promoter, and I don't rub elbows with these guys.
I don't have no ties with nobody.
Oh, okay. Though. Like Empire, for instance. I remember being at one of the owner's house, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, "Hey, Empire, a dope ass club. Not Empire. Truth. My bad. Truth." I was at his house, and I was like, Truth is a dope ass club, but that dress code shit y'all do, y'all gonna have to really stick to it. And I swear, 2 months later, I seen pictures with niggas with J's and
so in their defense, I'm gonna say this: as a businessman, it's easy to say you need to stick to this.
Correct.
But when you dealing with,
I think it's the city.
But it's that. But when you're dealing with rent, water, gas, insurance,
correct,
liquor, staff, security, bro, that go out the window.
I know, and see, but that's what I was telling him. I was like, if you got to turn around 200 people, you're gonna switch that up.
But this is what I would want to see, and I would hope to see. And honestly, I can't. If I had the funds to do it, I would do it. When you get your venue and you say I want to tailor it to upscale, a grown vibe, structure it with the people in mind. One of the great things about 3DL when it first started, LaTron owned it, Frida Homie, he made it to where if you was the big time street dude and you had thousands of dollars and I was the dude working at McDonald's, both of us can go party and we're gonna look the same. The booth is gonna be affordable. The money, the money thing was legit. Like I know at one time people challenged them, and I got a video. I always, I hold on to certain memories. I got a video of them where they did like a blog because a lot of people was trying to start a rumor saying the liquor was fake.
I remember that.
They did a live video in their liquor cabinet where like you might have a shelf right here, and from here to the middle of this wall is nothing but Ciroc bottles. You might go up here, and from here to the middle of the wall is nothing but Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of clubs don't have that kind of inventory.
They just got little boxes in a closet.
Yeah, but they may have, let's say from here to here, maybe 30, let's just say hypothetically, that's 30 bottles. They may have 10. You know what I'm saying? Versus 3DL, who had 30 at that time, because they was doing $3 drinks. But the venue was tailored to where everybody felt comfortable. They had a no nonsense policy. Like if somebody got out of line, you banned from the club. Like he would ban his own family members. You know what I mean? Like people that he rocked with, because he was set on keeping this concept like this. And I to be honest, I think that plays into the longevity of 3DL even to this day. It's a place that Augusta just has a soft spot in their heart for. It changed the game because when it came along, you had Cream, but outside of Cream and stuff like that, nobody was redoing their clubs like that, where you had the couches and the VIPs and the upholstery, and no, they weren't doing that. So even right now, if you do a spot, just tailor it with those people in mind. Maybe instead of doing multiple days, get a smaller venue, something that's more affordable, and do that joint once a week. You know what I'm saying? Rotate your concepts. You may have karaoke this night. You might have a live band this night. You might have comedy this night. But you make sure that when those people walk through that door, that vibe don't change. And that's what 3DL was. If I went to 3DL on a Wednesday night or a Friday night, the only difference was you're going to have more people in there on Friday. I couldn't come in there with regular plain joints. I had to have on a collar. I had to, you know what I mean? Like security would tell you, hey, bro, you got to pull your pants up. You know what I'm saying? You got to maintain that. So when people feel comfortable, that goes into your marketing, because then that tells me, bro, I'm going to 3DL. Me and my partners, you staying there, bro, at least 4-5 nights a week. Because even if we ain't partying, we going to eat. You know what I mean? You got a restaurant, you got a full-blown restaurant in here. Like, you know what I mean? H.O. used to be in there cooking out. Like, he would come up with the craziest recipes. But to do a spot like that, you can do it, but make it financially affordable, because in bigger markets, you got people that travel it's people that travel, thousands of people that come to Charlotte every day. Thousands of people that come to Atlanta every day. You got young business professionals, you got athletes, you got medical professionals, you got all these people who making 6 figures easily. Augusta ain't got that many people like that. That's not true. People that want to party. The people that's making 6 figures like that, they leaving. They ain't really here. But you're going to have some people here that want to party. If you make it more affordable, I guarantee you get way more people and it'll stay way more consistent. But you got to put that system in place.
So it got to be affordable and you got to be consistent with the rules and the
right. If you do those two things, I'm telling you, you'll win, because 3DL changed the game when it came out. That's what it was.
So what you think happened with Truth then? What I was saying earlier. Just the bills like you was explaining?
I think me looking at that club, they put a lot of money in that club.
Yeah.
Because I remember what it looked like before. Mm-hmm. So
that's the old oak is the old tinted windows, and that's the old cream.
Right. So I'm quite sure they invested a lot of money. And I think they're trying to recoup their money. I don't really think it's a situation where they trying to really abuse people. I just think, because you got to think about also, them boys had to go through the pandemic too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you
peak pandemic.
Right. So you got to keep paying these bills while ain't no money coming or your spot closed, bro. That's rough. And people don't understand. Like, sometimes people don't have empathy for business owners. They don't realize, bro, them human beings, bro, they still got to take care of their families too. So I think they put a lot of money into it, so that's why it costs what it costs. That's just my opinion. Like, people frown about prices and stuff, but I done seen people go to other markets and pay 2-3 times what they might charge in Augusta.
And shout out to Tomine and Stone. Those some real good promoters that people in the city be hating on like a motherfucker.
Why they be hating on them, boy?
Because they get money. You know how niggas is.
Man, that part I don't comprehend, man. If anybody getting money, it's either 1 or 2 things. Either you inspire me, or I'm gonna be like, bro, how you getting that money? And I'm gonna be trying to figure out how I get me some money.
I'm about to do a podcast with Stone soon.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I missed the date. I'm gonna call him today. I forgot. It was supposed to be yesterday. Bruh, he ain't hit me. I forgot. Yeah. But I'm gonna do the podcast with him. I'm gonna call him today.
But nah, man, I don't like to be honest with you. Like, anybody I don't care who you are. If you get money, man, and you successful, you take care of your family, life going good for you, that's an inspiration for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the end of the day, I know what it's like when you trying to, you know what I mean? You trying to make something happen. And, bro, it don't always click like that. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times people don't know. A lot of these same people, which I think Stone been doing parties for a minute. I think he has been, but Stone is older, so I'm thinking he been done more. A lot of times, man, you like, sometimes you might have just been doing your birthday party. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You might not have been getting the lion's share of the door. So all those years and everything that you put into it, later on, when it start paying off for you, most people thinking, oh, you just did. Nah, bro, you been working. All of that stuff play a part in it. Mm-hmm. It do. Like, people still remember me from doing comedy shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that plays a role in with your progression and your journey, but I don't be hating on nobody. If you getting money, bro, listen, that go for anybody, especially in Augusta, Georgia. If you getting money, salute. Listen, it's the inspiration, because every day that's all people really trying to do is take care of their families.
You know, everybody ain't the same though.
Oh, I know. Some people see that and they just get upset and they angry because they ain't the one getting the money.
Yeah.
That they be big mad.
Because everybody not business minded. I told you as soon as you walked in the door.
I got flack too now. I done got plenty flack. You wouldn't believe the kind of. You listen.
Hey, but I always told you since day one, you a great businessman though.
Bro,
so I can't see how anybody could have an issue with you.
Any business I got going on, and I tell you, I can give you probably at least 10 different stories of people mad at me about it.
All right, that's the next podcast we're gonna talk about then. Because matter of fact, I'm gonna invite you to the one Maine want me to do. we gonna change it from what he want me to talk about to talk about that.
That'll work.
Because I'm not talking about what Maine want me to talk about.
I'm talking about be red hot mad with me, and you'd be thinking I'd really done something to these people.
Yeah. All right, matter of fact, before we get off, give me one though. Give me one from the flyer business. Because how can somebody get mad about a flyer? Because you do great work. Like,
so you got people now. Matter of fact, I had a Facebook friend made a post, was like, man, I need to get a flyer done, whatever, and somebody tagged me, whatever. Which I know him, but I know how it is. You know, it slipped people's mind. So he hit me and was like, hey, bro, I need to get a flyer done. So I said, cool. He said, listen, I'm waiting on locking in the venue, but give me like 2 days and I'm gonna get with you. Cool. He hit me like a day later and was like, yo, you been messaging me? I'm like, nah. He was like, yo, somebody been messaging me playing like they you. I said, what do you mean? He said, somebody hit me and was like, hey, man, what's up on that flyer you need? I'm like, I ain't hit you. And he was like, yeah, they was going on and on. And he was like, yo, is this Dorian? He was like, nah, but I can get it done for you. Mm. And they had some kind of dummy page, and I was like, bro, for real? And he showed me, it's been so long ago, but he showed me the joint, and I was like, it was literally trying to like sideswipe the business because they saw the post. You got people that legit copy my flyers.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Legit,
and I know exactly who you're talking about.
Legit. Listen, I will purposefully take and change my fonts on purpose, and they will go copy the same fonts. But they doing it for a cheaper price, so people like, bro, I'm not giving Dorian all that money. But you talking to somebody who been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like at one point, and that's once again the gift and the curse of technology. With Photoshop, bro, at one point, bro, Photoshop cost you $2,000.
Yeah. I remember nobody had it. You had to go beg somebody or steal a copy out of school or something.
Right.
Steal the CD out of a high school.
But when they started cracking down on that, you had to, because you still had to have internet access to use it.
Ain't it crazy to you now that shit only $10 a month?
Yeah, it's wild to me. When my joint go off, I'll be like, bro, y'all tripping with that.
Hey, but you know, that's the gift and curse about business, period, though, because everything is so cheap nowadays and anybody can start a business, that shit oversaturates the market and like makes it horrible for people that do great business. Like, I do photography. Somebody will hit me up and be like, hey, you know, I want to do pictures with you, but whoop. And then they don't feel safe. So they rather go to JCPenney and Sears and get them horrible ass pictures than come work with you because of the bad experience they had before with other photographers that take their family picture and send them their family picture in a month. Like, I went to a wedding recently, and the photographer there told the people at the wedding it would be a month and a half to 2 months before they get their pictures. I said, that is fucking ridiculous.
What the hell? He must be using film. He
had a Canon camera just like me.
No, he had to be using film.
Had a Canon camera with a LED panel on top of the camera.
He had to be going home in that doggone red room with that water doing this.
I'm telling you, Art Dilla, he had it was a she, had a Canon camera just like mine's, almost like mine.
And say 2 months
with an LED panel on top, the one you press on and you turn the knob.
That
was it.
She must be doing glamour editing. She must remove every extra hair.
Because they got the pictures back and I seen them and I'm like, I could have did better than that.
No, ain't no way.
Way better too.
They had to be going there removing pimples and extra hairs and blemishes and everything.
Yeah,
but no,
because I think I do 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks tops. But normally I send it before 2 weeks.
That's realistic, but 2 months. But nah, listen, there's some graphic designers and took people money and ran off on them too.
Oh, I know.
And before we go, shout out to all the Fiverr and Canva fans.
Hey, you laughing, but I fuck with Fiverr. Listen, I done got on that motherfucker too.
Exactly. That's what happened. They go to Fiverr and come back to me and say, bro, I can't use this. Bro, I know that. Because you got somebody in another country sitting in somebody's office making, it's probably 100 more people with the same logo you got.
Oh yeah. I tell people
Then
all the
they
time.
said, man, we need the vector files. They send you that JPEG, that joint
I done got a logo off of Fiverr, but it was a play logo. I was just playing around. I got a little $15 logo.
Okay.
I put it on. I shouldn't be telling my secrets, but
didn't we talk about this before?
Yeah. Somebody had asked me for a service agreement, and I want a service agreement and a invoice, and I wanted to look professional. So I paid somebody on Fiverr $15 for this bap ass logo of a lion holding the camera. And I slapped that bitch on the service agreement, slapped that bitch on the invoice. I put Shots with Slim on there, and I emailed it over to them. And, I felt like I was professional and nice looking. I still do that shit to this day, but don't judge me.
I get it, man. Do it work for you, man.
It just depends, bro. I'm going to get a logo one day.
When you get ready to put that joint on a banner or a sign and it's pixelated,
I'm not doing that.
You got to call the art dealer.
See, I'm not about to put that bap ass logo anywhere but on them service agreements and invoices that I email to one person. That's it. Besides that, I just use my signature. Yep. I got the signature off of Fiverr too for $5.
I mean, I get that because it's literally somebody with one of those pads.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because I brought both of them the same day, just on some like I don't give a fuck shit.
But man, if you start any kind of storefront business where you're gonna need to use that on different formats, man.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
But Fiverr offer that too, but it ain't gonna be that $15. It's probably gonna be about $200 or $300 for that. Yeah.
But people, I tell Carlton be hitting me all the time about stuff, and I be like, bro, some stuff you can get on Fiverr, but the stuff that he need, I'll be like, don't get that on Fiverr.
No, don't do it, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for listening to this, man. That's all we got for today. We're going to continue the horror stories next episode, and we out.